Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In today's video, and from the title of the video, you can see that I'll be analyzing Sera 2, which is the newest launch at the Rashid Yachts Marina by Emaar. This is followed by their latest launch, which only occurred 3 weeks ago, which was Baystar by Vita, the first branded residence that we actually saw in Rashid Yachts Marina. Now, before we dive straight into this project, I want to first of all take you guys through the history of what is now called Rashid Yachts Marina, so you have a better understanding of the overall area. Then we will dive into what Mina Rashid is supposed to be now. And lastly, we will talk about the actual project, which is Sera 2. So to give you guys perspective, before Rashid and Yachts Marina came to life in 2019, it was actually called Mina Rashid, which was a major port even before when the UAE was formed in 1971. In fact, the Sheikh at the time, Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum, who was the Sheikh of Dubai, which wasn't even formally Dubai at the time because it still wasn't a nation, actually decided to invest into this port. Now, Mina Rashid was a big port. Why? Because it allowed it to connect with various countries like Iran, India, and the rest of Southern Asia to bring in trades and also to do a bunch of other business. In fact, in 1970, the first ship actually came to Mina Rashid, which was the Sardana, which was the Anglo-Indian ship that first came to this port area. And this port, which is, Mina Rashid, as already mentioned, would then later on go to be the hub of Dubai because this is where most people would do business. And it was very close to Deira at the time, which was, as you guys know, the downtown, let's say, before downtown was actually established. And after, when Jebel Ali ports came, Mina Rashid started getting a little bit quieter. However, in 2019, many years later after the UAE had already established a name, Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum and Mohammed Alabar, who is also the founder of Emaar, decided to make a new foundation for Mina Rashid and change the name to Rashid Yachts and Marina, which would make it seem to be a commercial, mixed residential, and even a hotel area that is going to accommodate a lot of residents on a 6.8 million square foot plot of land, and it's going to have a bunch of yachts already insinuated in the name. Now, when we talk about present time Rashid Yachts and Marina, we understand that the first launch was Seagate in 2019. In fact, if you guys already go to the area for Rashid Yachts and Marina, there is already a promenade and retail spaces open. For example, there is a Lake Grill Cafe, which is by Chef Nabil. Then you've also got Coffee Lab and even the Beyond Sales Centers. And you guys will also notice a few low-rise buildings. If you see one low-rise building that is very close to handover, that one right there is actually Seagate, which, as already mentioned, was their first launch, which is very close to handover. Now, when we talk about the present-day Rashid Yachts and Marina, we also need to understand the location, which I will bring up here on the screen in case you can't see it on the TV. But the location is a very good location where it's located right here besides Dubai Maritime City. And over here it's not included, but we have also got very close to Pearl Jumeirah and La Mer Islands. Here's where we got the Palm Jumeirah, and it's also going to be 20 to 25 minutes roughly away from downtown. And it's roughly 30 minutes to 35 minutes from Palm Jumeirah. Now, one thing I also want you guys to notice is that very close to Jumeirah 1 right here, there are very limited ocean plots, let's say for that instance. The only ones we've got is really Dubai Maritime City. If you could guess, Dubai Islands is also pretty big, but that's further towards their side, so can't really be counted as Jumeirah 1. Mina Rashid, Pearl Jumeirah with custom-built homes, and then we also have La Mer. So when we talk about Rashid Yachts Marina, it is a master community unlike Dubai Islands and Dubai Maritime City, which means that only Emaar is allowed to build on their master plan. So that is a very good thing when it comes to controlling supply. And another thing is that right now in Rashid Yachts Marina, all of the ports that you will see when you go today are all going to be removed because Emaar is a governmental developer. They have access to remove all of this, and because they want to make sure that the whole master community is fit for commercial and residential to give end users that full experience of what it's like living in luxury with a resort style living and being on a waterfront. Now, yet again, when we talk about what's going to be included, we are going to talk about the 4,300 wet berths. There's going to be a floating yacht club. We're even going to get a school. And yes, you heard that right. There's actually going to be a school instead of Rashid Yachts Marina. We're going to have mosques. A promenade, which I already mentioned, is operating. And we already have the Queen Elizabeth II Hotel, which is also present if you guys go today. Now, when we talk about Sera 2, it is going to be accompanied with a water garden. And what I mean by water garden is that it's going to be a 125,000 square foot like of amenities where you can basically use it as a yoga lawn. There's also going to be pools, many other activities. You can use it for running, you can use it for picnic, etc. Now, in addition to that, Sera 2 is comprised of Tower A and Tower B, which I'll put right here on the screen. Tower A is going to have a G plus parking plus 4, and then the other, like let's say adjacent to it or right next to it, is G plus parking plus 6. And when we talk about Tower 2, there is a section that is G plus parking plus 5 and G plus parking plus 7. So we can see that Tower B is initially the tallest one with practically 7 floors if we don't include the ground and the parking level. In addition to that, I will show you guys renders here on the screen. You will notice that there is a podium level, which is also going to include a lot of amenities. Of course, the gym is also on the podium level, technically speaking. And then we've also got pool. You have children's playground where people can go picnicking. We've also got a tennis court, paddle court, basketball courts, etc. All the basic amenities that Emaar really gives you. Now, one detail I will give is that Sera 2 is not directly waterfront like Baystar and Seagate, so that would be the one disadvantage. In addition to that, I will show the floor plans in just a minute, but I will talk more about the actual project. To talk about Sera 2, you guys may have noticed that I've actually changed a little bit of angle, and that's correct. Just had to change the video angle just a tiny bit. But regardless, continuing off from the last clip, we need to talk about Sera 2. And one thing that we will notice, as shown right here on the screen from a render, is the lobby. Now, the lobby, as you guys may see, there is a lot of details that resembles a hotel. And the reason why that is because Emaar is trying to embed their new style of resort style living. This is really what Sera 2 is trying to bring to life. And when we talk about the supply of units, we will note that there are 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and even 3-bedroom townhouses. And yes, you guys heard that correct. They are going to release 8 units of 3-bedroom townhouses, 12 units of 3-bedroom apartments, 77 units of 2 bedrooms, and 86 supplied units for the 1 bedrooms. Now, when we talk about the average price and the square footage, for the 1 bedrooms, we are expecting an average price of 2.1 million with a minimum square foot of 758 square foot. Then we have got the 2 bedrooms where we are expecting the average price of 3.4 million with a minimum square foot of 1,995. And for the 3 bedrooms, the average price, shall I say 3-bedroom apartments in this case, because there are also townhouses, these are starting at 4.5 million with a minimum square foot of roughly 1,650. And then we have got the 3-bedroom townhouses at 7.3 million. And yes, these are quite pricey. They're actually more expensive than the 4-bedroom standalone villas in Salvara Gran Polo. So it can give you a perspective of how unique this product really is. And the average price for this is 7.3 million with the average or minimum square foot of 2,552 roughly. Now, assessing these floor plans before I recorded this video, I actually noticed that the best units to get would be the 2 and 3 bedrooms, specifically because the 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms are lower in supply, even though the 2 bedrooms aren't that much lower in supply for the 1 bedrooms. But considering the fact that Sera 2 isn't really a direct waterfront project, just like Seagate and Baystar by Vida, the capital appreciation in terms of percentage for the price per square foot on handover, we can expect it to be a little bit less. But because now in Dubai everyone is buying 1 bedrooms, there is a little bit of concern regarding the oversupply. And to be totally honest, that would be the case, but when you are buying in a master community like Emaar, going for the 1 bedrooms is definitely still a safe choice if you are looking to rent it out. However, if we talk about reselling the units on handover, then the 2 and the 3 bedrooms would be your best choice. As for the 3-bedroom townhouses, I'll be totally honest, I'm not too sure what I think about this product. If you were to ask me after this video or contacting me on my WhatsApp, Honestly, I would say the safest bet is that I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because it's a very unique product. But at the same time, you could already get a 4-bedroom standalone villa in Grand Polo. So as for end users, they may compare it to that. And also considering the fact that the townhouse are technically not direct on the waterfront. So it doesn't even have that true waterfront-like experience. But as for the price per square foot for 3,000, it could look a little bit promising considering a unique product. But of course, only time can tell regarding these products. And as for the next video that I'm going to create, I'm going to be creating, hopefully, an investment analysis video or short. As you guys may know on my channel, I create investment analysis regarding projects. So you will either see that in a long form video or in a short. I'll be presenting all the floor plans and even comparing the price per square foot for this project for other projects. So if you guys want to stay tuned for those videos, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also click the icon bell that is located so that you'll get notified on future videos and future launches so that you are the first ones to know when a new project comes and so that you can book your units early. But without further ado, if you guys are interested to learn more about the Sera 2 project and get the investment analysis before anyone else, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp. It's located in the description down below. Really easy to locate. We can talk further, go over the floor plans, and if you're interested, we can hopefully book your EOI. And lastly but not least, thank you guys so much for watching this video and hope to catch you guys in the next one.